Beep, 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 beep. Welcome to the Court of the EDI Jester. How you doing? Right? Please share, subscribe, become a Jesterite, support me on Substack. It's all in the doobers if you want to do it. Please do help out if you can. We're making headway, right, folks? We are making headway. But let's not fall into a trap here in imagining that the activities of Parliament will mean that the societal change will happen immediately, because it won't. All right, we need to be very realistic about this. I'm a gay man, right? And as a shirt lifter, go back to 1967. And I was born a criminal, right? It's that simple. I was born a criminal when I was born. And in 1967, they finally repealed the dreadful act brought about by just a few men, one of them being the Marquess of Queensberry, who was after Oscar Wilde for having a bit of a dalliance with his son Bosie. There was much dalliance. Right, ended up passing a law which they managed to attach to an amendment raising the age of consent, which banned homosexual activity between men and made it punishable by some dreadful punishments, including prison for a long time, 8 years, I believe. We are making headway, right? But the point I'm trying to make is this. In 1967, when that happened, the society's mind didn't change until well into the 90s. Right? Gradual process, slow. We finally got equality in about 2000. So work that out, 67 to 2000. What's that? 30 years? 32 years after the law was passed. Do not, please, I know you're all fabulous, but please do not fall into the trap of believing that if there is a law change or if the government makes a statement or provides guidance, that is going to change the minds of the people that are involved in this. Now, the problem we've got is this. The people that are involved in this are so heavily involved in it, they can't come back. They can't turn around because it will mean the end of them. And secondly, that their mindset is such that they believe that they are driven by a god of some kind. They've got what's commonly known as, and you may not be familiar with this term, but it's worth knowing, commonly what's known as righteous cause mentality. It's a very dangerous mindset indeed, and we've seen it take place over the years in many places. And once you've got righteous cause mentality, you'll do anything, including sacrificing yourself, to keep what you believe to be right in play. So fine, let's get our guidance. As of our law changes, we absolutely need it, and I'm wonderfully excited by what's currently happening. But don't fall in a trap to think that this is going to end it, because right, we've got years of education in our cultural sphere, years of time where we need to convince people of why this has happened and why it's a good thing, because that's what the next program is going to be about, teaching. Okay, there you go. So I was surprised to find on the 7th of December an article from the Daily Fail. Parents anger as primary school plans to introduce transgender education for children as young as 4. Parents have threatened to take their children out of classes after a primary school announced plans to introduce transgender education into the curriculum. Just as a point of order, if they've got transgender education in the curriculum, they've also got critical race theory, critical environmentalism, and queer theory. They all come together, right? So they're telling kids that they're born in the wrong body, and they're telling kids that they should be judged by the colour of their skin. I'll put money on it. I'd like to know more. I would really, but let's see. Maybe we'll hear from somebody who's involved. Mealpub Community Academy in Kent is proposing to educate its pupils, who range from the age of 4 to 11, on terms such as transgender, non-binary and assigned sex. Children in years 1 and 2 will be taught how to combat negative gender stereotypes. Years 1 and 2. They're turning them into activists. I've warned about this. Will be taught to combat negative gender stereotypes, while those in years 5 and 6 will learn about issues relating to transgenderism and gender identity, and look at understanding, identifying, defining different sexual orientations. What for? What for? But the proposed shake-up to the curriculum has already received an intense backlash, with a forum between parents, teachers and school leaders reportedly becoming heated. One parent who wished to remain anonymous commented, "The meeting was very heated. There were lots of complaints. People are worried the content does not feel age appropriate." I understand that people are saying, this isn't age appropriate, right? But you've got to get your head around the fact that that's actually not the biggest threat, right? It isn't age appropriate by any stretch of the imagination for anyone, for that matter, right? Unless it's framed as, here's the lunacy we had in these years, right? Other parents threaten to remove their children from the lessons if they go ahead as planned. Good for you, do it. However, some parents voiced their support for the idea, with Zoe Aglan remarking, "I think the earlier we educate children about LGBTQ+, the better." There's somebody who doesn't understand it. Zoe Aglan. "Ideally, one day we will reach a stage in society where everyone will be accepted and there will be no need for these focused lessons." Everybody will be. Everybody? What? Rapists? Paedophiles? Terrorists? The bad men, the bad women, or everyone, Zoe? Really? Right, okay. Don't. I see these initiatives as part of the journey to achieve that. Yep, utopian nutter. Sorry. Michelle Soden-Meta, Senior School Improvement Lead at the Golden Trust Alliance, which runs Mealpalm, said the purpose of the forum was to hear the views of parents specifically around the content being taught and when they feel it is age appropriate to introduce these themes to their children. The only way you introduce these themes is as a cult. Do it alongside the Scopses, all right? And show them Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Bum shum bum shum da 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 da. Just, this is a cult, right? Do it alongside the Scopses. Show them Indiana Jones, and when they get to 14, 15, show them Midsummer and The Wicker Man. Let's traumatise the hell out of these kids. We understand that every parent wants the very best for their child. That's not true. It's not true. Right? It's not. They're just thick. Right? There are mothers who are trans in their kids. There are fathers who are trans in their kids. What do you mean every parent No, they don't. See, this is where the safeguarding goes, isn't it? Well, everybody wants the best. Dribble, 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 shabbly, quaff. Everybody wants the best. The vast majority of feedback we've received to date has been supportive, and we've continued the discussion with parents, carers and the wider school community through a formal consultation in the new year. A formal consultation in the new year. Ooh, keep an eyeball out for that one, folks. Ms. Soden-Meta also stressed that the plans are part of a large review to ensure curriculums promote inclusion and diversity. She explained, right, this is not only about children who identify as LGBTQ+, no children do. This is about all children. We know, for example, that children who do not fit into typical gender stereotypes, such as boys who do not enjoy football, are much more likely to be bullied than those who do. Forced teaming this trans nonsense with bullying. Or children who do not live with mum and dad, but with two mums or one parent or grandparent, and may feel they are different to others. Well, they are. They're different because they have different families, but that's okay. We want them to understand that everyone's situation may be different, but those around them love them very much. Well, some don't. That is wrong with these people. However, for pupils who do identify as LGBTQ+, there are none. We know that they are twice as likely to be bullied. No, the reason that they get bullied is because people perceive them to be gay or lesbian. Not because they're LGBTQ+, right? If they want to not get bullied, they become the TQ+. This is absolutely insane. However, the impact this has on a person's mental health can be devastating. Oh, give me a break. With LGBTQ+ young people being 2 times more likely to contemplate suicide. Here we go. And black LGBTQ+ young people 3 times more likely. This primary school should be closed immediately. It should be shut by Ofsted while an investigation I know they can't do it. Right? According to 2021 independent research report by charity Just Like Us. Well, there you go. I give up. Right? Department of Education. I'm Gillian Keegan, right? Okay. And what are we doing this morning, Gillian? We're going to ban the use of external providers in schools, and we're going to ban the formation of affinity groups. Right, how are we going to do that? In a paragraph. See you later, folks.